for finding the time.
I will admit, it's not entirely unpleasant seeing you again.
Man, I love Daredevil. He was my favorite as a kid. So I'm so happy that he's back. One of the hallmarks of Daredevil, the original series, was the action. Charlie, so tell us, Born Again, how is it going to live up to that?
Yeah, it's Phil Silvera and the stunt team set a very high bar. Thankfully, they're back, and so we have the opportunity to pick up where we left off. We're always trying to one up ourselves. It's such a pleasure to work with those guys, to see what they come up with. They are the sequences. It's really important, I think, that in our show that they're treated like almost like acting scenes. That there's a real emotion behind every punch and every kick, and there's a reason for all the violence. It takes its toll on your body, especially when you're 10 years older than when you started. So that's been an interesting journey. I've seen the sequences in this season. I'm so proud of them. They're inventive and also reminiscent of the previous show. So I think the fans are going to be really pleased.
Are we going to get a lot of oneers?
We're gonna get a oneer. You hold, steady on, buddy. You can't, you get a oneer a season. You'll get your oneer, don't you worry.
Vincent, Kingpin's been around since the '60s. He was always one of my favorite villains. What motivates him this time? How's he different than the Kingpin we've encountered before?
Well, emotionally, he's the same. He's a broken person. And there's no fixing him. I think that he's on a path now where he's craving more power, and he's dangerous when that craving starts in him. And so he's on a very dangerous path. Not dangerous for him, but for everybody else. That's where he's at when we meet him. He's also, have some things to straighten out when he first comes into this new season. He has some explaining to do to his wife, why he's been gone for so long. Vanessa, who Ayelet Zur plays, who's just an amazing actress and a very good friend of mine, and she's a joy to work with. We have some very intense scenes that are all marital issues that we're dealing with. And so it's going to be like that. It's very similar to what we did in Netflix, in that I was falling in love with her in Netflix, and that was a different part of everything that else was going on in this scene. And then this year we've gone even further because it's a marriage that's being tested, and they still love each other passionately. So it's an intense situation. That's about it.
Charlie, one of the things I loved about the original Daredevil series was that it wasn't afraid to be dark. So how is Born Again going to kind of embrace that similarity?
It's going to go further, than we went before. Yeah, it's one of the things that it's very clear from the offset how important it is to fans that this show maintains its integrity in terms of how sinister and dark and gritty it was. I think on the page in the comics, this character lends itself really well to an R-rated show. Some of the best Daredevil runs are the ones that are on the darker side. And huge credit to Marvel and to Disney Plus for allowing us to kind of continue in that vein. Vince and I were just talking, there's a couple of scenes in this new show which even we find hard to watch. So I think a lot of the fans are going to be really pleased.
Sometimes peace needs to be broken. The chaos must reign.
Mind putting the hatchet down?